Everyone is talking about the Galaxy S20 and the S20 Ultra, but today I want to compare it with LG's brand new offering, the V60 ThinQ. Even though LG hasn't been killing it in mobile sales lately, this looks like a solid offering and I think it competes well for the price point. So let's take a quick comparison look at the Galaxy S20 Ultra versus the V60 ThinQ. The V60 I would say is more of an S20 and an S20 Plus competitor, but I've had the Galaxy S20 Ultra for over a week, so this is the only one that I can share my experience with. But if you want to see a breakdown of the entire Galaxy S20 series lineup and which one to buy, I will leave a link down below for you. This is the absolute best from Samsung and the best that LG has to offer, so it definitely makes sense. Both have that premium build quality. The S20 Ultra and the V60 have that glass and metal sandwich combo, both of them being IP68 water resistant. The S20 Ultra has the slightly larger 6.9-inch Quad HD Plus dynamic AMOLED display with 120Hz high refresh rate, which will be important to some. Once you experience this fluidity, you'll never want to go back. It's hard to show on camera because I shoot in 24 frames per second, but trust me, it's awesome, especially for gaming with those stereo speakers. But LG also has a fantastic 6.8-inch Full HD OLED display and also has balanced stereo speakers for a great multimedia experience. And get this, you still get a 3.5mm headphone jack with the Quad DAC, the best audio experience that I've experienced on a phone personally. So I want to know from you, is the headphone jack still important or have you moved on with wireless earbuds? Let me know in the comments. LG is also giving you the option of two 6.8-inch displays here. This is their offering for a foldable phone at this moment, both with a 20.5:9 aspect ratio. I know it's a little bit weird, but this can also be awesome for gaming where one of the displays can become a gamepad. Some games work better than others, but there's a new wide mode which lets apps take advantage of that second display, merging them into one. This works fairly well with the web browser and is pretty cool when you're looking at your photo gallery. You have a dedicated display just for viewing your photos and video, which I think is neat. The best part is that you don't have to use it because it can get a little bit bulky, but it fits just like a case and you can just remove it. Depending on the carrier and promotions, you might even be able to get one of these dual displays for free, so make sure you check promotions before you buy one. Both of these phones are powered by the brand new Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 processor, so plenty of power here for no matter what you throw at it, with built-in 5G, which is really nice. They both have in-display fingerprint scanners, but the V40s is optical while the S20 Ultras is ultrasonic. I'm surprised the V60 ThinQ only has 8GB of RAM. I thought they would move to 12GB of RAM like what is standard on the S20 series, but the S20 Ultra goes all the way up to 16GB of RAM, but that configuration will cost you because it is expensive. I'm super happy that both of these companies are prioritizing battery life in these new phones, both with huge 5000 mAh batteries. My week so far with the S20 Ultra has been very surprising because even with the 120Hz display enabled at 1080p, I'm getting incredible battery life. So with the Full HD display on the V60, the battery life should even be better on that. So this is really exciting for battery life on both of these phones. The S20 Ultra supports 45-watt fast charging, which is a little bit faster than the Quick Charge 4.0 offered on the V60 ThinQ, which can go from 0 to 50% in 30 minutes. But regardless, both will charge up nice and quick, and both support wireless charging as well, which is handy. At this point, both of these look very familiar, but when we start talking about the cameras, that's when they start to differ. The Galaxy S20 Ultra has a monster 108 megapixel camera for super high resolution shots that you can crop to your heart's content. It is actually mind-blowing. Or you can shoot 12 megapixels that bends 9 pixels into one for a smaller resolution shot, but a more balanced one, along with a 48 megapixel periscope lens with a 10x hybrid zoom and an insane 100 times digital zoom. It doesn't look very good, but it's awesome to have in your pocket. And Samsung also has one of the best 12 megapixel ultra wides on the market and a time of flight sensor to help with focus and depth information. This is a stacked camera cluster. The V60 ThinQ has a smaller but also impressive 64 megapixel main camera that can shoot high-res 64 megapixel shots with, or you can choose a pixel bin 16 megapixel shot that will give you better low light performance. There is no telephoto lens, so you'll have to zoom in digitally, which goes up to 10x, but there is a 13 megapixel wide angle, which I am glad they kept because it is the most useful additional lens that you can have in your pocket. But LG, since you're cutting sensors, please don't cut this one, okay? There is also a time of flight sensor on the V60 as well for depth information. They are doing a cool feature where it can create a 3D photo effect. You can tilt it and see more of the background, and has a spatial effect. I'm sure you've seen this on Facebook before. This is basically the same thing, and there are some other effects too baked in for some cool outcomes. What's amazing is that both of these phones can shoot video up to 8K resolution in 24 frames per second. This is just mind-blowing that we can shoot this type of resolution video and it fits in your pocket. Of course, both of these phones support 4K video up to 60 frames per second, and that's what most people will stick with, but both also have 4K 60 frames per second video recording from the front-facing camera too, so that's nice to have. The S20 Ultra in terms of resolution has a huge 40 megapixel front-facing camera, where the V60 has a 10 megapixel front-facing camera. Both have manual video modes, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm concerned about the bitrate on the V60 though. 40 megabits per second isn't the greatest. The Samsung definitely shoots in a higher bitrate, but both of these phones will be awesome for beginner creators to start their first videos with all of these manual controls. The V60 even has a 4 microphone array with built-in stereo recording, and has many other modes like 3D surround, ASMR, and a cool new voice bokeh feature where it can cut down ambient noise and separate your voice from the background noise levels. You can adjust it here right on the screen, so I can't wait to test this out. Even though the specifications of the V60 cameras are lower than the S20 Ultra, playing around with it for the afternoon, I was impressed at the images looking back at them on the phone. Of course, that's not a good way to actually see the image quality, so make sure you subscribe because this phone will be out sometime in March, and once I get it in, I'll do a full camera comparison, which I'm looking forward to. The biggest difference here is going to be pricing. LG didn't officially announce pricing because they let the carriers do that, but they said that it was going to come in less than the Galaxy S20, which I'm assuming is going to be about $899 or so. Don't quote me on that, but I'm thinking that's where it's going to land. The S20 Ultra starts at $1399, so let me know in the comments, is the Ultra worth $500 more than the LG V60 ThinQ? These phones compete very closely, closer than I thought actually, so many of the same features are in the V60 ThinQ, and you can add that extra screen, which is pretty cool. And I know that people are probably already writing LG off, but you never know, this could be a sleeper hit. When I get this phone in, I will do a full test and give this a proper chance because we have to test it to see how it competes. And this is a huge rivalry every single year between LG and Samsung. So let me know, which team are you on? Team Samsung or Team LG? But this is something to think about. If the V60 performs as well as the Galaxy S20 and it comes in at a lower price, then this could mean something. And where the consumers win is when both of these devices go on sale. You never know what you can pick these up for, so this is really exciting. So let me know what you think about the LG V60 in the comment section below, and make sure you subscribe for a lot more videos on both of these phones. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.